Nothing beats a bit of friendly competition, especially when it gives you the chance to wipe the floor with your mates and brag about it afterwards. So we're going to take a look at some of the best local multiplayer games across all platforms. These games are easy to pick up, quick to play, and fiercely competitive, making them great for mini tournaments and parties. Best of all, since you can play all these games in the same room as your opponents, you can really try and put them off. Not that we recommend such a dirty tactic, of course. Let's take a look. Mario Tennis Aces. If you've got a few mates, a bit of space, and don't mind getting sweaty, Mario Tennis on Switch is hard to beat. Up to 4 players can jump into a match swinging their Joy-Con just like a real tennis racket. All of the usual Mario characters are available to choose, each with a different playstyle and unique trick shot to use when you're in a pinch. Aces has both local and online multiplayer modes, so you'll never be short of someone to play against. Although simple on the surface, there are strategies and tactics built into the game to really show off your skills. Mix up your shots to outmaneuver your opponent using topspin, slices, lobs, and powerful zone shots. Different courts also add variety and obstacles to mix up gameplay, from haunted mansions to peaceful glades inhabited by piranha plants. Whether it's singles or doubles, on the sofa or online, Mario Tennis Aces is always a good laugh. Nidhogg 2. Nidhogg 2 is a fencing game with added giant worms. The aim is to stab up your opponent and then run past them in a mad bid to make it to the end screen and leap into the worm's mouth first. Nidhogg looks simple, but there's a surprising amount of depth to its combat, with players able to block low and high, evade and parry. If you played the first game, this sequel adds daggers and a bow and arrow for short and long range attacks, so you can pick what suits your playstyle. Launch your weapon across the screen with an overarm throw and you'll score an instant kill, but if it misses, you'll be left defenseless. Nidhogg is a frantic back and forth land grab where death comes quickly and mistakes are punished, making for a tense duel where you play mind games with your opponent. Will you go for the head, the legs, or just go for broke and run right past them? Whatever you decide to do, all must embrace the giant worm. Towerfall. This tactical retro-styled arena deathmatch sees up to 4 players attempt to be the last archer standing. With a limited supply of arrows, you want to think carefully to plan your attack and make every shot count. Every world contains different arrows to pick up and master, from bomb arrows that have massive splash damage to bramble arrows that you can use to block off areas and fence in opponents. While you can take a friend through a co-op campaign where you have to clear the stage of enemies, deathmatch is where Towerfall really comes alive. Dodging or catching a barrage of arrows before unleashing that perfect shot and nailing your foe to the wall is very satisfying. Or, if you can manage it, try landing on your opponent's head for a cheeky butt kill. Speedrunners. Next up is a game where you don't need to kill your opponent, you just need to outrun them. In Speedrunners, the screen follows the leading character around the course and the edges of the screen are deadly. Get caught behind and you're eliminated. All the characters have identical pace, so it all comes down to how well you use them. Swing off objects to build momentum, duck under hazards, and clear obstacles with majestic leaps. As you navigate the course, there are many ways to sabotage your opponents. Pick up weapons and you can unleash freezing ice beams, litter the path with boxes to trip over, and fire rolling balls of lava ahead. After a few rounds with your mates, you'll be using every shortcut and weapon to snatch victory, and you'll feel like platforming gods. Windjammers. Based on the 1994 arcade game, this PS4 reboot of Windjammers has everything needed for endless multiplayer sessions. It's essentially top-down air hockey seen through an 80s lens of blonde mullets and wraparound shades. Thinking fast, good reaction skills, and perfect timing are the keys to victory here. Nail the timing during your catch in order to throw the frisbee back at even greater speed, or build your character's special throw to catch your opponent off guard. This could be a gravity-defying ricochet shot, or one that charges straight ahead like a freight train. You couldn't do that at the air hockey table down your local bowling alley. A competitive game of Windjammers will command every bit of your attention to safeguard your goal as the disc rebounds thunderously around the court. With short rounds and simple controls, it's great for mini tournaments with friends, and the PlayStation version adds online matches and rankings to prove your skills worldwide. Gang Beasts. Gang Beasts is the gelatinous brawler in which you have to grab onto foes and throw them off the edge of the level. Although most games on this list are about skill, Gang Beasts is all about chaos. Along with the ridiculous gameplay, there's a lot of fun character choices as rubbery chickens, dinosaurs and penguins battle each other like furious toddlers across dangerous arenas. Fight on top of a moving lorry, on a train platform, a Ferris wheel, and a conveyor belt overlooking a giant incinerator. The basic controls let you punch, kick, and grab your opponents to knock them out and push, pull, or throw them to their doom. The ragdoll physics and loose controls combine to make each round surprising to play and hilarious to watch. Hanging onto your enemy's face as you dangle them off the edge of a building is impossible not to raise a smile at. Rocket League. Easy to pick up and difficult to master, Rocket League is the pinnacle of combined motoring, sports, and, rockets. Take a game of soccer, replace all the players with cars, then allow them to jump, fly, and drive all over the ceiling, and the results are spectacular. Although it takes a little getting used to, the controls are simple enough to pick up straight away, and first-timers can have as much fun as seasoned veterans. You can challenge friends to one-on-one grudge matches, or split the screen into 4 and play a 2-a-side, which is probably the best way to experience Rocket League. You'll be sharing on-the-fly tactics with your teammate, shouting commands mid-match, and perhaps taunting your opponent, making every game come alive. It's almost impossible to play this game silently, and even more impossible to stay quiet when you win. Stickbold. The final entry in our list is Stickbold, a hectic multiplayer dodgeball game with a Danish influence. In Stickbold, up to 4 players fight for one dodgeball to pelt at your opponents and eliminate them from the round. Get the ball, and you've got the power to pick your victim. Without it, you'll be running behind obstacles or other players for cover. Each stage has environmental hazards to watch out for too, whether it's speeding cars that'll barrel you over, fiery meteors, or pesky crabs at the beach. You can face a friend one-on-one to settle old scores, but Stickbold really comes into its own with 4-player battle royals. It's a game people can enjoy regardless of skill level because play continues after you've been eliminated. Dead players can use power-ups to affect the rest of the game, so you can get sweet revenge on the person who knocked you out. Using skill and survival to win each round adds up to a satisfying victory, and no doubt you'll want to play just one more round to get your own back or continue gloating just a little longer. So that wraps up our top choices for the best competitive party games. If we missed out one of your favorites or you know about any other hidden gems, let us know in the comments. Click the thumbs up if you'd like to see more game recommendations, and subscribe to Ultimo Hombre for game guides, tournaments, and news from our live events. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.